the pretty side. Back brace because I'm old. I'm 34, which in skeleton years isn't crazy old. As long as you can remain competitive at the start, you're really gaining more information on tracks and more knowledge, and you're getting smarter and better at sliding. I think one of the toughest things in the US is like, we want greatest of all time, right? Like, that's good that you're good. That's good that you're world class, but I think there's this push towards like greatest of all time. I had some push goals, but I got another like injury flare up a couple weeks ago, so those kind of went out the window.
Sure.
I think the ultimate question is going to be, what's my body up for? There's just been a lot of ups and downs, and what my body can take. I've been in a lot of different points in my career, things going really good, things going really bad. But when I had back surgery, I knew there was a really good chance it was like all over. I think I have like a working theory on sports on the whole, that being great at a sport is like having all of these pieces come together at the same time. Obviously, you need to be like physically healthy and competitive at the start. And the best skeleton athlete is who can lock in and do the thing when it matters. Everything was just more and more painful. And I was doing a really light lift before World Championships that year, and I think probably just compensating weird, caught a really light power clean and felt my back go. No one really knew how to get an x-ray or imaging done in Austria, plus I was like 2 days out from the race. So made the decision to continue competing that week. We met the good old millennial way of Instagram DMs. I posted a picture when we were in St. Moritz mid-season, and she responded to that, and that started a conversation. We talked and we FaceTimed, and then eventually it got to the point where I was like, we either need to meet in person or like this is just gonna kind of fizzle. And so actually after World Championships that year, so 2019, I had a break between World Champs and Nationals. And so I was like, if I come to Nashville, would you want to go to dinner, basically? And so she's a musician, so she travels a lot too, so she kind of understands that part of like sacrificing for the dream and being on the road and kind of those things that come with being an athlete or being a musician. So we did a lot of that.
We're making a video, because we never make videos.
Hi.
Hi. This is really only for me when I missed you. Quick, tell your best joke.
What do you call a fish without an eye?
Without an eye?
Yeah. My second hip surgery was in 2019. Had my left hip surgery, and when I came out, I had drop foot in my right leg. So not normal at all. We went back through and couldn't figure out what it was, and so we x-rayed my back finally. And turns out in 2016, when I had that back problem, it was broken. The plan was, after the season in 2020, I was gonna live in Nashville just for the summer. But everyone knows what 2020 means, so we went from very long distance to very close distance really quick. So that was the quest for 2022. Hip surgery, back issues, COVID, qualifying stuff, races that were really mishandled. All of that led to ultimately just not doing enough to make the 2022 team. got married in 2022, had a massive back surgery, so really leaned on that for better, for worse, in sickness and in health quick. And yeah, we've just been making it work. She's also a huge fan and a huge advocate in this comeback. Like, she's been #1 in being like, yeah, you gotta do what you gotta do. You have to see if you can do this thing. So I had bilateral pars defect, which basically means like the two things on your vertebrae break off and then your vertebrae is just kind of like free in your spinal column. Went to the surgeon for a consult. We had like a really real discussion, and I told him if that's the end of my career, that's the end of my career, and that's fine. But like, what are the chances? Do people come back from this? He said, your spine's in a pretty bad spot. I can't promise you anything, but I'm not gonna rule it out either. I competed that last season and made peace with the fact that that might be the end of my career. When you come out of surgery, the last thing you care about is sliding. I was in a world of hurt. My surgeon was stoked on the results. Progressions are really slow. You're in a full back brace. You don't bend or rotate for 3 months at all. It was just like following this path, right? Like, I just really was focused on getting healthy. Having to take the year off and potentially like retire at that point. Like, I got a real job, and I feel like that's a whole nother side of me I've gotten to explore. I think this comeback has given me a lot of balance in my life that I didn't have in the first 8 years in the sport. The last benchmark was sliding again, and came into it, and I didn't know what to expect, if my brain would be on board or if I'd be freaked out. I think it made me realize how much I loved it, for sure. Some perspective on that. I think coming back again, it all feels like a bonus to me. And so I sweat the small stuff a lot less, for better or for worse. And now it's like, can I get back? Can I get my body back in shape to be fast enough and competitive enough at the start to make my driving matter, to have one more shot at a games and potentially some World Cup medals on the way. But like, what I've gotten to experience is incredible and not something everyone gets a chance at. And so I think the chance to like be world class at something is insane. It's been really good for me to be smarter about the runs I take. So I've been able to like get home and do some more real life things, work full time while I'm doing it.
Start for Kendall Wesenberg. He's now back by 2/10 of a second.
Just been an incredible journey and test. So I'm trying to hold both of those things simultaneously. And then I think my best life is walking away from skeleton.